Well, hello, and thanks for watching another episode of ARFCOM News, your twice-weekly dose of the finest two-way propaganda. I had an absolute blast hanging out with you folks at Gunstock. If I didn't see you there, I hope I will next year. We got to shoot lots of cool guns and vibe with all kinds of amazing people. CMMG was showing off their brand new, not even released yet, Mark 47 Descent, which takes AK mags and uses their Descent short bolt carrier so it can accommodate a folding stock. They also let me mag dump their 22 long rifle fast shooty boy. I even got to shoot out of a helicopter. I got to vibe with Luis Valdez, the OG Florida man and Florida director of the GOA, and Stephen Williford told me about what really happened at Sutherland Springs. I think the coolest thing I saw at Gunstock was this prototype non-reciprocating charging handle for Mac-style pistols at the Wraithworks Bay. Wraithworks also had another really wild prototype carbon fiber AR-ish rifle and a lightweight polymer AR upper matched to the KE Arms polymer lower, but the Mac charging handle was just a fun side project for one of their gunsmiths. He thought people would make fun of him for it, but I think it's super rad and based as hell. What do you folks think? Based or cringe? While you consider that, also consider how it would be impossible for us to produce quality two-way propaganda without sponsors. So, let's pay some bills. Today's video is sponsored by Springfield Armory. Their new Echelon pistol has a modular fire control group and a nifty universal mounting solution which will accommodate virtually any microdot.
New for 2023 is the Springfield Echelon. The striker-fired polymer frame pistol features Springfield's new variable interface system for mounting multiple optic footprints and the serialized cog fire control for inserting into multiple frames. Find out more at springfield-armory.com.
And by Vault Pro, proudly manufacturing the finest American-made safes, vault doors, safe rooms, and storm shelters. When you buy from Vault Pro, your safety, security, and privacy is their only priority. Vault Pro has never and will never release your information to another party. Click the Vault Pro link in the doobly-doo. Last week, St. Benitez slapped down the Calistani standard capacity magazine ban again.
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
Unfortunately, it did not come with a Freedom Week 2.0 this time around because he did allow the state 10 days to appeal. Last time around, the Ninth Circuit reversed Judge Benitez's ruling, sending Duncan versus Bonta to the Supremes, but they kicked it back down to the lower courts after the Bruin decision to be decided again under the new standard for scrutiny. There's a good chance the Ninth Circuit will do the same again, but this time the Supreme Court can't kick it back down. They could refuse to grant cert, or they could rule on it, but they can't just kick it back down. How things will shake out in the end is hard to say. The Second Amendment is clear. The Bruin ruling is clear. But we've seen courts do backflips to defend bad laws in the past. Going the other direction, a federal judge denied a preliminary injunction against Washington's magazine ban, which isn't particularly surprising. But it is infuriating because she flipped the burden of proof around on the plaintiff. The Bruin precedent requires the state to prove gun control laws are consistent with history, text, and tradition, yet Mary Dimke complains the plaintiffs are unlikely to prove the negative. A ban on commonly owned magazines in common use is clearly not consistent with weapons laws contemporary to the ratification of the U.S. Constitution. So no, they won't be able to win on the merits. But what is even more insulting is she waited 9 months to give birth to this freak, possibly because she was waiting to see how Benitez would rule. Of course, his ruling has no official bearing on her court, but it seems to me she was hoping Benitez would rule against gun rights. Should have known better, though. If control freak politicians didn't have double standards, they would have no standards at all. New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez has a passion for disarming the poors and leaving regular folks helpless. But while Menendez enthusiastically supported every draconian measure his control freak donors paid him to support, he inexplicably opposed arms export restrictions designed to prevent states like Egypt with a record of human rights abuses from receiving arms exported from the U.S. Menendez has been the subject of investigations and indictments, including charges that he took bribes from Egyptian officials. And the FBI found almost $500,000 in cash squirreled away all over his home, including envelopes hidden in suit jackets he wears in the Senate. But nothing sticks to slime, which is why the DOJ hasn't even bothered to retry him after a 2017 mistrial for bribery. Even though he was forced to resign as chairman for the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, he still refuses to leave office gracefully and fully intends to run again. Here's another story from the Only Cops Can Be Trusted with Guns files. The Philadelphia sheriff lost 185 guns. 76 of the missing guns were duty weapons, and the sheriff claims some of them were given to former deputies and employees. Problem is, they have no proof of those transfers or of background checks being completed, so if they were given away, it was illegal. The rest of the guns were seized from people who have restraining orders against them. No word on how those guns were lost. And now for your moment of Zen. Hey friend, do you like pews and other pew-related things? Do you want to help us keep delivering you pure, uncut American pew bug-end at the low, low price of free fitting? We literally couldn't pay the bills without our sponsors, so do us a solid and get yourself something nice from them. You deserve it. I love you.